Hello there. Welcome to Just the Dis. We talk about Blu-rays here. And today we're going to talk about a horror icon, a monster on the level of Frankenstein in terms of its and his iconic nature. And I really do believe that. And we are talking about Candyman, now on 4K, and this film, of course, from 1992. But the trick with this video is, or the goal of this video is, to let you know the difference between Scream Factory's 4K of Candyman and Arrow Video's 4K of Candyman. So you have your Scream here, your Arrow Video here, and we're going to go through these and talk about what you get and how it's presented, and you can decide which is the one that you want to get. Like I said, this film, directed by Bernard Rose, is truly one of the great horror films of all time. Tony Todd's performance as Candyman is one of the great portrayals of a horror creature, whatever you want to call him. He is a force, and he is incredible in the film. The story, of course, is of a graduate student played by Virginia Madsen who starts doing her research in Cabrini Green in Chicago and hears of this urban legend of this Candyman fellow that you summon by saying his name in a mirror. She doesn't believe it, and she is proven incorrect. Like I said, this is a movie a lot of people know and love, rightfully, because it's so well done, from the direction, the production design, the score. The beautiful score by Philip Glass is one of the great scores for a horror film of all time. And once you get it in your head, in fact, I have it in my head right now, it's kind of hard to get it out, but it's beautiful. And that's another thing I love about the film that gives it this almost fairy tale quality, timelessness. So it's a horror classic, right? So let's just talk about these discs for a minute here, okay? So this is your slipcase for your Scream Factory edition, okay? And what you get on both discs, on both sets, is you get your 4K disc with a R-rated version and an unrated version, although in the Arrow version it's called the UK theatrical cut, but the difference in running time is about 1 second. The R-rated version runs 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 53 seconds. The uncut version runs 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 54 seconds. I don't know the specifics of what footage, frames, what have you, are added or subtracted, but it's not a great amount. So let's talk about presentation first. So this one big difference is that with the Scream Factory edition, you get 3 discs. You have a double spindle on either side, and you get your 4K disc right there. And then with the Scream Factory, you also get a Blu-ray of the unrated cut and another Blu-ray of the theatrical cut. And in terms of the extras and the extra placement, the 4K disc has just 2 commentaries, which will also cross over to the Arrow disc. The first one is Bernard Rose and Tony Todd. Excellent track. And the second is Stephen Jones and Kim Newman. Also great. I'm a big fan of these two as a duo for commentaries. I think they're always great. They give a combination of conversational and informative, and they're just nerds for this stuff that they can present it in such a way that it's really entertaining and fun. So I always enjoy their chats. So that's all you get on the 4K disc in this case. And then the extras are split out over the other releases, the other discs. And so let me talk about what's crossover, okay, in terms of the two arrow and the scream. So I'll go to the disc 2 on this set. The director's cut has a lot of featurettes that cross over with the Arrow release. They have Be My Victim, which is an interview with Tony Todd, about 9 minutes and 47 seconds. It was always you, Helen. Interview with Virginia Madsen, about 13 minutes. The Writing on the Wall, production design of Candyman. Interview with production designer Jane Ann Stewart, 6 minutes, 22 seconds. Forbidden Flesh, the makeup effects of Candyman, which is an interview with effects artists Bob Keane, Mark Coulier, and Gary J. Tunnicliffe. It's about 8 minutes. A Story to Tell, Clive Barker's The Forbidden, an interview with critic and author Douglas E. Winter, about 18 and a half minutes. Him talking about the Clive Barker text that this is based on, and sort of a general overview of horror at the time, at the beginning of that. And then you have, I think that's it for the crossover. Those featurettes are all on the Arrow disc as well. But on the director's cut disc, you also get Looking Back in the Mirror with Vanessa Williams, where they talk to actor Vanessa Williams for about almost 16 minutes. That's exclusive to this director's cut Blu-ray. And you also get Reflections in the Mirror with Casey Lemons, interview with actor Casey Lemons. She's part of the film, obviously. 9 minutes, 48 seconds. And then you get A Kid in Candyman with Duane Guy, about 13 and a half minutes. And he is also an actor, one of the child actors in the film. So those three are exclusive to the Scream Factory Blu-ray of the director's cut, or the, they call it the director's cut? The unrated, that's the unrated cut. Sorry, I'm calling it the director's cut, but it's what they call on the disc the unrated cut. Those are all on that disc, okay? And then on the theatrical cut disc, we get a lot more exclusive stuff in that we get those two commentaries, as previously mentioned, the Bernard Rose and Tony Todd, and the Stephen Jones and Kim Newman. That's repeated on the theatrical cut Blu-ray. But then we get two more commentaries. Now, these are exclusive to the Scream Factory release. The first one is Bernard Rose, Clive Barker, producer Alan Poole, actors Tony Todd, Virginia Madsen, and Casey Lemons, all in one track. Very good stuff. And then a really fun fan track, we get Bernard Rose again, this time moderated by the Movie Crypt's Joe Lynch and Adam Green. So you get to hear them in conversation with Bernard Rose talking about the film. Both those tracks are exclusive to the Scream Factory Blu-ray of the theatrical cut. You won't get those on the other set. And then you get a bunch of featurettes, which I think are maybe archival. I can't be sure, but they feel a bit older. It's about 4 pieces. You get Sweets to the Sweet, the Candyman Mythos, which is about 24 minutes long, and it's interviews with director Bernard Rose, Clive Barker, producer Alan Poole, actors Virginia Madsen, Tony Todd, and Casey Lemons. It's sort of a making of kind of thing. You get Clive Barker Raising Hell. It's about almost 11 minutes. It's just a straight interview with Clive Barker. You get The Heart of Candyman, about 7 minutes, which is an interview with Tony Todd. And then you also get Bernard Rose's storyboards, which is a 2.5 minute presentation of those storyboards. So that's a whole bunch of stuff that is exclusive to this Scream Factory release. So bearing that in mind, you may be going, oh, I think I want to get the Scream release, which is totally valid because there's a lot here. And as far as the prints go, I played both. I couldn't tell the difference. The menus even initially look identical. This Scream has an Arrow menu. If you know what Arrow Blu-ray menus look like, you can kind of tell the difference. It's a little different than a traditional Scream Factory menu. But again, the naming convention is slightly different in that it allows you to choose the film, the version you want to play. In this case, it says R-rated, or this is on the 4K, R-rated or unrated. and you pick one. The extras are the same. The commentaries, play independently on either version. So this is a pretty strong version of this release. I got to say, in terms of the amount of stuff you get a little more than the Arrow, but there's a catch. And I'll explain that in a couple ways. For one, this packaging is pretty great. I've always liked the Arrow packaging. It's the hard box, and you get your 4K release, you get your poster, and you get a wonderful bound book. Got some more story. The storyboards are actually in here in this case, so you're still kind of getting the storyboards, and I think that's what you're getting in this one, is just storyboards. So there's not an essay necessarily in this, but you're getting the storyboards in a printed version. So you still kind of get that, okay? But yeah, I do love this hard box. It's always been a big thing for me. Arrow hard boxes, I'm kind of addicted to them. So again, I believe the cuts are the same. In this case, on the Arrow version, they are labeled the US R-rated cut and the UK theatrical cut. Again, same difference in running time, 1 hour 38:53 for the US R-rated cut, 1 hour 38:54 for the UK theatrical cut. You get those two commentaries I mentioned, Bernard Rose and Tony Todd, and Stephen Jones and Kim Newman. Again, this is actually just one disc, just the 4K, nothing else. You also get your lobby card stuff, and you get, just lots of little window cards, Always fun to get those in the package. And then you also get another booklet, and this is where you have some more essay stuff. The Sweetest Thing by Michael Blythe included in this booklet. And so you get your booklet essay. But yeah, so it's just a single 4K disc. Now, you get the commentaries, you get the Be My Victim, It Was Always You, Helen. You get the writing on the wall, production design, Forbidden Flesh, makeup FX of Candyman, a story to tell, Clive Barker's The Forbidden Urban Legend Unwrapping the Candyman, 20 minutes and 41 seconds. I think I mentioned that. I'm not sure if I mentioned that on the Scream Factory, but you also get that. I can't remember if I skipped over that one. That's a really great interview with lecturer, author Tananarive Due and author-screenwriter Stephen Barnes, where they're just talking about the urban myth of Candyman and that sort of legend stuff. It's a great conversation, and it's included in both discs. And then exclusive to this are The Cinema of Clive Barker, The Divine Explicit, which is a brand new interview with Clive Barker on Candyman and his the other filmic adaptations of his work, which is about 28 minutes long. So you get the new Clive Barker interview here. That's not included on the Scream Factory release. Okay? And then you also get, and this is pretty cool, I got to admit, some Bernard Rose short films. 3 rare short films from Bernard Rose. You get A Bomb with No Name on It from 1975. That's about a 3.5-minute short. You get The Wreckers from 1976, which is about 6 minutes long. And then you get Looking at Alice from 1977, which is about a 27.5-minute short film. So Arrow has definitely made it a trick for you to decide, are you more into the shorts or are you more into the interviews? Because if you're into the interviews, you're definitely getting more on the Scream Factory disc. And again, the transfers, as far as I can tell, seem to be identical, so there's no difference there, really. So, do you want the lobby cards and the storyboards printed? How do you want your Candyman is the big question that we're asking here. And so it's tough, I'm torn because I am both an Arrow and a Scream Factory guy. I might, if I'm honest, lean a little more towards Arrow in general. But part of that is just presentation. And that's a minor thing for a lot of people. But in terms of the amount of stuff you get, there's kind of like significantly more on the Scream Factory release. So I wanted to present both and give you guys a fair sort of assessment of what each one has to offer, and again, allow you to make your own decision. But I like both. I think they're both, having a lot of great stuff to offer for Candyman fans. Again, Scream Factory maybe just a little bit more, but overall a pretty cool conundrum to have, like to decide, I don't know which one. So anyway, that is it for this episode of the show. Just want to say thank you for watching and choose wisely. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.